Hi, welcome to Andrew Buckle book review or magazine review of Doctor Who Chronicles 1971. You can see here obviously the Demons, Axos, Autons and the Master from the makers of the Doctor Who magazine. Now, I don't know about where all these articles come from, whether they were included in the magazine. I haven't really been buying that magazine for quite a while, so it's possible lots of these are in there as well. I don't know. Simple answer on that one. However, they have been bringing out lots of these chronicles. I've got the 73 one and I've got the 65 one. I think there's a Peter Davison one. There's probably I think there was a Patrick Troughton one, 1967. I don't know why I didn't buy that one. And there's also, I think they had a Sylvester McCoy one. I might be completely wrong on that, but you can obviously find online. $9.99. Well, this one was $11.99. Slightly going up in price. So when it gets up to the 1976 or something, which I will buy as well, probably be 15, who knows, $14.99. Magazines are getting very expensive now. When I go to the shop, I look and think, whew. But this is a nice quality magazine, and I don't mind buying a magazine like this, especially one of my favourite years, 1971. I was about 10 at that time, obviously probably 9, 10. Yeah. And some great TV. There was some pretty awful TV, and that's the thing about this. This is really good because it does actually include a lot of other information about the TV, music, and that sort of stuff as well, which is good. You can see it's got the Terror of the Autons, and that was one of the most terrifying. I remember that being when they would burst through all the shop windows. It was like, oh. I mean, I love going down into Maidstone, and it was like one of those things you think, if that happened in Maidstone, frightening. And also, of course, they had like the Demons as well, Claws of Axos. They were pretty terrifying as well. They started out pretty okay, but then suddenly they were pretty terrifying. And also Colony in Space. I always think that I've watched every single episode of Doctor Who at this time. I probably haven't, because I know they probably put lots of repeats on of some of these. They didn't do many repeats. I don't know why they didn't repeat the ones from the 60s. They should have put those in the 70s. You never saw them. One or two bits and pieces, but really not that many repeats. I suppose there was licensing reasons, whatever, various things that they couldn't do. However, there's the Autons there, and I love this magazine because it's got lots and lots of behind the scenes there. You've got someone's holding a New Scientist, lovely copy of New Scientist there. I hadn't noticed that before. That's another magazine that I really loved from that period. And you've got bits of detail about meanwhile on planet Earth in 1971. So you've got here like doors, Jim Morrison is found dead. Those sort of information. You've got more than 600,000 anti-Vietnam. It also has got things about the Daily Sketch. Ceases publication. I remember Daily Sketch. I don't think it wasn't one that I would buy regularly, but I do remember the paper. And also other ones there, NASA's Mariner 9 as well. And other information. Also includes things like this. Lovely posters. Devil Rides Out. And of course it's got Chariots of the Gods. Obviously a very influential, certainly well-read book at the time, wasn't it? On Sugar Smacks. There was lots and lots of things they did. Merchandise. Obviously now I think there's like infinite more. But I don't know of any Doctor Who sort of serials. I've never seen one anyway. But it also got lots of things like this, Countdown. I remember picking that up. That's the diary of Doctor Who, and it's got all the details about, like here, about rematch with the plastic pestilence, airing at 5:15 on Saturday. Now, I probably missed the start of some of these episodes. I think one of those things I remember rushing home, because I was always going to football matches. Of course, football match, 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock, you sort of match might sort of end. That sort of time would be about then. And then, of course, you have to dash home. So I probably missed some of the episodes, or certainly missed the first few minutes of some of the episodes. Of course, didn't have video recorders or anything, so you didn't tape it. That was it. It was gone. You know, it might be repeated another time. I might have seen these later in repeats. But anyway, you got the countdowns there. I remember looking at those over the years. And also, of course, the ones in the Radio Times. And also other things there. Doctor Who Milk Chocolate as well. And also Countdown Annual. Remember getting that one. Definitely some great artwork in those ones. But it goes through giving details about like the clangers, the Camberwick Green, all the various, just so much background information about the various characters and the stories. And yeah, it was frightening. Those Autons one, and also the Demons one. I mean, I remember watching the repeat of that. I was going to say reprint. No, it was repeat of that. And that was terrifying as well. I don't know why it was like the Green Death. I still remember that was 1974 one, I think 73, 74, and that was terrifying as well. Lots of these stories. That was actually the Green Death was of course the last one of Kayy Manning. And obviously here Kayy Manning was joining the cast. Who's Katie? It says there, and there's a girl in my soup and all the various lots of great pics and sort of discussions about what she did, which is great because at the time I must admit I didn't know anything about Kayy Manning or even John Pertwee, really, to be honest. And so this one is just great for all that sort of thing. It's also got about the funding. You've got colour, obviously colour TV had come in at that point, all the various things, cutting corners, I don't know what this is. Oh, about scenes also on single videotape, because it was all done videotape and things, probably why now, of course. Should have been done on 4K, should have been done on film, so you really have super quality. Sadly, that is not the case. I guess it's never going to be much better than probably Blu-ray, but 4K, who knows? But there's, again, lots more, all the various clothes, lots of flamboyant clothes at the time and that period. And of course, there's the Axos, Claws of Axos. I love that bit there. Doctor Who, Tango, oh, that's the Demons one. Contained a, I can never say that word, larger than life characters, I'm going to say. I'm not going to avoid from the archives. Surviving BBC paperwork documents some of the unforeseen complications. And like I say, lots of information about behind the scenes, what they did, why they did various things, industrial action, of course, all those things that, of course, when you're only about 10, you never really think about, oh, why isn't Doctor Who on this week or whatever? Why have they done that? Why have they changed that? Why is the location different? Now, of course, people go into a lot more detail and analyse all these various things. And also you've got all the various theatre productions and all the actors that, of course, turned up in this. Barry Letts, obviously the writer there. Oh, Deborah Watling. And also what they were doing. The other actors that were obviously what they were doing that year. So, which I think is quite nice. Because quite often you got your favourite, like Deborah Watling. Just absolutely love Deborah Watling. So it's nice to see about Jean Marsh, Peter Purvis, obviously there. William Russell, Maureen O'Brien, Adrian Hill. I didn't know that. Was in Wagoner's Walk. Radio regular. No, I never listened to that. Claws of Axos. It's got a little bit of that. And also Dover Castle. 3 days at Dover Castle. Didn't know. Roger Delgado, brilliant actor. Really, really sad that obviously died. I think it was 1973. And it's got loads of pictures about his career there. About 6 pages about Doctor Who star killed on the way to make a film. That was in Turkey. Special effects. Colony in Space. Now, Colony in Space, not Colin in Space, but Colony in Space was one of the ones I don't remember really watching that one. I just look in the pictures thinking, not familiar, not so familiar. I think they've got them all on iPlayer at the moment, all the Doctor Who's. So it's one of those ones maybe I should just go and sort of watch, try and catch up on that story because I must have missed that. Because, of course, sometimes, you might be on holiday or something. Again, that's another thing. You go off on holiday for a week or so, you've missed a couple of episodes, and then, of course, it doesn't stick in the head in the way that some of the episodes would. I love that one, the Walt Disney Wonderful World of Colour. I don't know if they actually have many of those. I've never seen any sort of DVDs or Blu-rays of those sort of things. They're probably unwatchable now. I don't know. But this one, of course, football. I loved football. I was absolutely, totally into football. I mean, Maidstone United was my team. I loved going there. I would watch that. But anything, football, FA Cup, all those things, I'd always be watching. So, and they said about the fact that because of the football, it was one of the best viewing. Always amazing, isn't it? I suppose that was the thing. It was a treat those days. You'd watch every single thing on that day. It was literally, I would be in front of the TV. Totally. And this one also about, I love that. Craft. They had lots of different things, some pretty daft, but there was lots of those ones. Season 8 booking was, and also, viewers of Z Cars. Never watched many of Z Cars, I have to say. That was one of Softly Task Force and those sort of things. Then on to State of Art, the Space Age Comic Countdown. What was it? Free, great competition for UFO fans. 100 fantastic UFO annuals to be won. Pretty good. And then you got Doctor Who. Some of the artwork was brilliant. I loved the stories, actually. They were very, very good. Now, they never matched the series in any shape or form. Some obviously with colour as well. You got there, don't know what. Though, never really looked. Do you think that looks like John Pertwee? Sort of, ish. ish looking like. I suppose the thing was another characters didn't turn up. Again, I suppose there was reasons, licensing. They couldn't get agreements with the actors or something to use the various people in the thing because and the assistants often were never the same. I don't think they even had Kayy Manning in that one. No, can't see Kayy Manning at all. It's just Doctor Who. Obviously they had a photo of John Pertwee, but it didn't look like no. But it never matched the story, and then of course you had there Tom Baker there, the Death Flower. I remember that one, Death Flower. It's got a flower head look. Don't just stand there, run. I think I would as well. Of course they did the giant robot and all those sort of things. And then you got the demons. Oh, that was an absolute time. The Midwich Cuckoos. I never thought about that. I guess it was sort of folk horror. There was a lot of those sort of things. When the Wicker Man, of course, they've just brought out the Blu-ray 4K. Oh, well, another copy of it. Apparently, really, obviously the best quality. Yet to buy that. At some point, I will. You got that as well. Dance with the Devil. That was a great episode. Children of the Stone. Was it Children of the Stones? Whatever it was. Doctor Who and the Demons. Oh, you got. And this is another thing I like about this. They include all the various Radio Times ones, and they're always great. I love these. These were just the best for me, Radio Times. Radio Times is just not the same now because it doesn't include the entire cast list. Also included loads like incidental music by Dudley Simpson, script editor, Terence, loads of information. You never see that information, I don't think, now. Nothing like that. So you would never, unless you watch the show. And I'm one of those people, I'm sitting watching all the way through the long list of credits at the end. I get annoyed when they suddenly cut those off or make them shrink or whatever. You think, no, I want to know who did all the 4 million people that were involved in the special effects. They make all that effort. See what their name's on there. Doctor Who Meets the Master, and Frank Bellamy, of course, brilliant artwork there. And also, it's got this Devil's Due. Oh, among other reasons, Doctor Who was rarely repeated before 1970s because the BBC had entered into agreements with various unions. I knew there was a reason. Limited how many repeats could be aired in each year to prevent the corporation from filling the schedules with 16 programmes. That hasn't stopped them recently, has it? Millions. How many times? The shows, Bargain Hunt, whatever. They seem to be on all the time. Didn't work. Now, I love this accumulate. Oh, just fascinating. This is the sort of thing that's information when they talk about costs, including the artist fees and copyright payments. Wow. Yeah. Therefore, it's not much cheaper than making 90 minutes of new Doctor Who. Yeah. It's just one of those things I wish they had shown them because obviously, they were still great to see. Maybe they should have shown them at 2 o'clock in the morning or something. No, I know the TV probably was cut off before that. But also you've got to hear about the various other Doctor Who's, etc., format, well-balanced format. They were just good. Really good, strong stories, I think. All generally set on Earth. There was a few, obviously, one where they colony in space. There's a big clue that it was not on Earth. Why My Monsters Are Marvellous. It's another one. Something Wicked. And also on the box. Temporary Fault. I love that bit. That was good when they put that sort of, obviously the BBC Three TV, well in advance of the BBC Three channel. And also I had that one, Top TV Themes. Again, this is one thing I love about this magazine. I wish they'd have bigger section on this section as well. I'd be happy just nice, 10, 15 pages, which is one of the reasons I buy the Infinity magazine, which I think is one of the best magazines. And I was so looking forward to that today. I went down to Smith's purposely for that, not for this. Went down for Infinity magazine and it wasn't there. And I thought, I don't know when it comes out, probably sometime soon. I saw it advertised, Planet of the Apes, and I thought, yes, must pick that up. But this, I love these ones. Owen MD. I don't even remember Owen MD. The Troubleshooters, I remember that one. Hawaii 5-0, A Needing Line, Casanova. Oh, okay, I remember the Casanova one. I don't particularly remember the music. Persuaders, of course, brilliant. Strange Report, Jason King. I love Jason King. Jason King, Love Story. Okay, was Love Story TV series? I can't remember that one. I didn't really watch that much of ITV. Maybe it was on ITV. Match of the Day, of course. Did that ever change? Well, probably has now. I don't know. 1971, only around 4%. Sorry, reading the Obviously in capitals, it's very weird, isn't it? Only 4% of the 16 million or so TV licenses issued that year were for colour TV receivers. We didn't get colour TV till about 74, 75, I think. Can't remember when we got it. It was a long time. I think we had to wait quite a while. But I love the schedule Generation of Game, of course, there as well. Pink Panther show. I just got the DVD box set of every episode of Pink Panther. I've yet to watch. I will sit down and watch some of them. I doubt if I watch all. There was 124 episodes or something, which I think is probably a few too many for anyone to watch. But you've got here Ronnie, of course, 2 Ronnies. Love those. Light Affair included 2 Ronnies. Lasted 16 years. Well, Public Eye, of course, on the Talking Pictures TV. Public Eye. Justice. I think is that on Talking Pictures TV? Might be. Of course, they've got Budgie on. I loved that when they repeated that. That was brilliant. I must watch that. They got the repeats now on Talking Pictures TV. So that was a great little series. Benny Hill, I don't think they'll be repeating those. So they have put some, one of those sort of mid sort of 50 or 60 range, I think, of the on TV. And they've had sort of some of the episodes of Benny Hill. Not all of them. I suspect many of them are gone. I don't know. Also you got here Softly Task Force. I don't think that's been repeated recently. Persuaders, that's always been repeated. Hundreds of times. But still good. Kathy comes home. Now I'd love to see Play for Today as well. Of course, Jason King was great as well. I love those. Glenda Jackson as Elizabeth First. I think that was on BBC 4, I think. Mr. Ben, of course, you got there. Follyfoot, remember? Actually, I watched a lovely one it was a sort of like collection of sort of TV Times one. It was Looking or something like that. And it had Follyfoot on there. It was actually quite good. I was thinking, that's a good look. Though some of them, Jamie, I think it had Jamie as well. Ace of Wands, that was good. Really good as well. Guardians, not familiar with that one. The Guardians, fantasy series. Obviously Freewheelers. Wasn't really a fan of Freewheelers. Of course, UFO, always good. And it's also got the final score showing the ratings. And apparently Colony in Space got the highest one, which is amazing because it's one I'm really not familiar with. But the other ones, Terror of the Autons, Mind of Evil, Claws of Axos, Colony in Space, Demons, Spearhead from Space, and Demons Repeats. I remember watching that one, Omnibus Repeat. That was 28th of December. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely love that. And that was it. What a brilliant magazine. Definitely worth checking this magazine out. Definitely worth popping down to your WH Smith's or wherever you get. Maybe I think I've seen copies of this. Well, not this one. But in Forbidden Planet, maybe, I don't know. But certainly Forbidden Planet, I saw copies of that downstairs. You go downstairs, you can find copies there. But it's a great little magazine. I think this is just an absolutely lovely one of 1971. And now I must go off and read the David Hepworth book again of 1971 because what a brilliant year that was. And listen to some of the music as well because it had like Tiny Dancer, which is just great. All those sort of brilliant albums and also some pretty good TV. Well, some comments. Did you love this period of 1971 Doctor Who? Will you be picking up this magazine? Did you find like Terror of the Autons, Demons pretty frightening, or were they pretty rubbish? Everyone obviously will have different opinions on these shows. I mean, or you can look at it now and you think, wasn't perhaps the best of... must have been very hot in that as well. Imagine that. Obviously now it would all be done by visual effects, but still. Also, please subscribe. Always adding, obviously, new videos about a whole load of different things, books, DVDs, and the same. And also a like or dislike. Always appreciated either way.